Greetings everyone, Archimedes here, and welcome back to another Brick-filled LEGO video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at one of my latest my own creations, Excalibur, the shining blade of King Arthur. So, without further ado, let's take a look. When I began designing this model, I was in the third round of this 6x6 challenge made by Bill Daniels on MOC pages. As before, the rules were the same. One had to build a model that fit within a 6x6 by 35 block space. Now, the challenge was to make something mythical. After a lot of thought, the first and really only thing that came into my head was Excalibur, King Arthur's shining blade. But if I was going to build Excalibur, I wanted to do it right. And so I did a bit of research. In the end, I stumbled upon this chunk of poem written by Alfred Lord Tennyson in Mort to Arthur, the passing of Arthur, his poem about, well, you guessed it, King Arthur. It reads like this. There drew he forth the brand Excalibur, and o'er him, drawing it, the winter moon, brightening the skirts of a long cloud, ran forth, and sparkled keen with frost against the hilt. For all the haft twinkled with diamond sparks, myriads of topaz lights and jacinth work, of subtlest jewelry. After doing a little more research, I learned that topaz and jacinth are both red jewels, and so thus, I detailed the hilt using them, as you can see with the red pommel stone and other highlights. Also, since the hilt had diamond sparks, I used these diamonds on the hilt, the diamonds along the blade, and also these extra little spikes at the hilt added a slightly more magical feel to the blade, which I liked, since of course Excalibur is a wonderful magical sword. However, after building this blade, I knew I also needed a place to put it, since I couldn't just lay it on the table and say, here's my 6x6. So, I decided to portray it as Excalibur being handed to Arthur by the Lady of the Lake. Now, as the story goes, Arthur is in a boat crossing some lake or other. Sorry, I don't know the full legend, but still, the Lady of the Lake reaches up with her hand and places the blade in Arthur's hand. Just pretty much like this. If you look up Excalibur on Google Images, I'm sure you can find a whole bunch of images of this. It's a very dramatic, very cool scene, and I thought it would be quite fitting for this model. It also fits almost perfectly in a 6x6 space as well. I knew the fingers would be the most difficult part. At first, I had thought that I wouldn't do the whole full hand design, since it's very, very complicated, and I couldn't find a good solution for the fingers. However, after running through numerous non-hand prototypes, like a little Lego claw as the hand, I finally decided to go back to the original 5-fingered hand design. And what I did in the end was use these smooth joints from some of the Aquanaut sets as the fingers. This created a nice, pure, circled hand that I think looks very nice, and kind of is fairly accurate as well. And that, my friends, is Excalibur. From bejeweled hilt, to shining blade, to the hand of the lady who presented it. I'm rather proud of this model. It has a clean, elegant look to it, and is one of the few, actually only, medieval mock I've ever created in my entire history of LEGO Down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Excalibur, the blade cut steel, as it has been interpreted in some books. I want to say a special thanks to Bill Daniels for creating this contest in the first place, so as to inspire my creative enthusiasm. But now that I've told you what I think of this model, I'd like to hear what you have to say. What do you think would make this model different or better? And also, the same for my channel. What can I do to make this channel better for you, my fellow LEGO builder? I'd also like to thank the fisherman, who was my opponent in this match, and who created a brilliant model talking about the urban myth of alligators in sewers. Click on the link in the description if you want to see it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you all farewell. My name is Arcimedes36, and I'll see you next Sunday.